Welcome back to the Forge, where two enter. One leaves champion, and one leaves beaten, battered, and bruised. This week we have two top-level constructed players. First, we have Kit, who you probably know as a guy who is always around, always doing stuff for the community. What you might not know as much, because he doesn't play in tournaments, is that Kit is actually quite the SoulForge player as well. You probably know he's an impressive deck builder, but behind the scenes, he's often a test partner that I know I use, and I know a lot of other people use, because he is an excellent player. So it'll be fun to see him come in here and assert his dominance and authority. And on the other side, we have Piquadore, who, if you have not seen, the all-time win total has been put up for constructed queue victories. This dude has over 700 victories in the queue. Now, I hear Technonaut laughing somewhere because he has 2,400 wins, but we're not all as insane as Technonaut is. I think Technonaut, there's like 4 of him. None of them have a job, and he just plays queues all day because I don't think it's physically possible to have played 2,400 games. But apparently it is. Maybe he must have won every game. Technonaut must have gone 4-0 or 3-0 in every single tournament. But that's neither here nor there. Piquadore is a top-level constructed player, and we are happy to have him in the fold today. All right. Let's go ahead and look at this handsome devil, Kit. He's running a list that I've been playing quite a bit myself lately, and I really like it a lot. Have you had a chance to take a look at this list, Jake?
I have. I've also played a similar deck quite a bit.
Interesting. What have you been thinking of the list?
I usually find the deck is a very effective snowball deck. So if you can get ahead at all, the game is locked at that point, and you just slam dunk the other guy into oblivion. I find it very hard coming from behind, though, as a counterplay to that.
Interesting. I found that coming from behind, depending on how you're playing it, isn't really that bad. I mean, if you're able to get a Death Weaver to stick on the board, and you're playing Varna's packs in player level 1, so that in player level 2, you're playing pack 2s, and then player level 3, you're playing pack 3s, you're actually able to recover the board. Now, there is a downside. Varna's Pact can be a cruel mistress.
Yes.
I mean, I've had games where I had one game where my opponent drew like a madman, and I was drawing very poorly. But I played a Varna's Pact 2 on player level 3 and got his Dragon 2 and Dragon 3 and steamrolled him. I've had other games where I played a Varna's Pact 3 and gotten 3 seedlings. Those are less likely because you usually won't play the pact as much. But say like 3 Zemus level 1s on player level 3. You just kind of look at the board and go, Zemus, what's up? I leveled you, but not for that reason. So it can be a bit dicey, but you do just have to be sort of smart about it and try to be careful about what you're letting go into the dead pile. And if you're seeing garbage go in, then maybe you back off the pact plan a little bit. Any other thoughts about the deck?
It's Varna's Pact is such an interesting card because it's so random. I have had it completely blow up in my face and I get nothing. I have also Varna's Pacted in 2.4 and hit Phoenix Ashes, at which point your opponent literally just quits the game usually.
And that sounds like exactly something you would do. Actually.
Well, the best part was it was his Phoenix Ashes.
Of course, right. And you just punish them with him.
Yep.
That's always fun. And then, I mean, it's got your standard NT shell nowadays, which is the Knight, the Spite Mage, the Phoenix, Zemus, just really amazing cards. And then you're like, how am I going to round this out? Oh, I'll put in Deathweaver and Varna's Pact just for, good times. So basically it allows you to kind of race people. It allows you to long game people. It allows you to knock it into the who draws Dragons and Phoenix and Zemus on level 3 games quite as much against NT. If you prioritize Varna's Pact, sometimes you can get a really big lead to where they have a hard time, even if they do draw into those cards on level 3. By that point, it's already pretty much over. So that's one of the upsides of the deck. Alright, so let's move on to Piquadore, the Mad Chemist, as I'm now calling him.
Madcast. All right.
Looks to me like he's running Arborist Wins with a question mark. It used to be with an exclamation mark. I've demoted the deck in my mind to a question mark. What do you think, Jake?
I mean, okay, this deck has some of the most slam dunk wins I've ever seen.
Yes.
Literally. If you've ever put your opponent to negative 500 life, this is the deck to do it with.
Uh-huh.
But, okay, I find it interesting that he's only running 2 copies of so many cards that I view as key in the deck. Like, he's only got 2 Arbors, 2 Oros. I really think Oros is a 3 of.
I think so, too. I think, in my conversations with him, he doesn't have 3 Oros.
Yeah,
I think...
It's kind of the leaning I get from that.
Yeah, we'll ask him about that, but I would be stunned if he said, yeah, I got 3 Oros. I don't think they fit well in this deck. That would be surprising. An interesting exclusion is Runebark. So the question is Runebark a good fit here if you're going to have Conjurer, Oros, Embrace? What have you found with these decks?
I found Runebark is actually quite good. You can actually really grow him quite a lot very fast, especially if you manage to pull off double or triple triggers, like with a Conjurer or Varix Embrace, for example.
Mm-hmm.
The card that is interesting that I haven't actually tried in a deck like this is Group Meal.
Yep.
I mean, obviously it's a great draft card, but I haven't actually tried it in a constructed deck like this yet.
Interesting. What I think is very strange is to only have 2 Roars and 2 Group Meals. I think the way I view Group Meal is a worse version of Roar. So if I was building this deck with 4 slots, I would go 3 Roars, 1 Group Meal.
Right.
But maybe he's got another idea there. Another question is, what is Patriarch in the deck for? It hits Conjurer, and I guess it hits Cersei, but Cersei's job is not really to grow. It just feels like there's not that much for Patriarch to hit in the deck.
Yeah, he's a little bit low on targets. Not a lie. I mean, there's Conjurer and there's Cersei, but there's really not much else.
Yeah, I think I would be tempted to put Runebark maybe directly in Patriarch's slot.
Right.
Okay, well let's bring these competitors on one by one and see what they have to say about their deck. So first we have... Oh, actually, let me make sure we can hear people. I bet people can't even hear you right now. There we go. First we have Kit.
Everybody get up, it's time to slam now. We got a real jam going down. Welcome to the Space Jam. Here's your chance, do your dance at the Space Jam.
All right, welcome to the Space Jam, Kit.
Howdy, guys. How are you?
I'm doing great. I can only imagine you're very well rested right now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, Kit, why did you choose this NT Grave Pack deck? Or, Varna's Pack deck?
Well, essentially, ever since I gained access to Varna's Pact and Shallow Grave, I have pretty much put them in every single deck that I'm playing. For those who don't know, the very first deck that I built that was like a community success was Kitfinity. I love infinite combos. I love bringing things back. I love chain leveling things with Technosmith and bring it back with Keeper of the Damned. Well, Shallow Grave's kind of better than Keeper of the Damned. Oh, wait, Varna's Pact's better than Lyria. Why don't we combine these and we'll just chain level Zymuses, so you're playing 1 Zymus and 3 Shallow Graves on it in the first 2 levels of player level 3. It's just a lot of fun, and that's what I want to be doing. I wish I could be playing Ironbred, but I only have 1, so I'll stick with the funner stuff.
All right. And did you choose... I mean, you could put this N shell with anything. Why did you choose Tempest over, say, Utera or Aloyan?
So I find Aloyan the funnest, but also the weakest against Tier 1 decks. And I find Utera is a little weak against NT, and I think NT is the most played thing. I think Utera might be equal to this deck against Yetis, but it certainly tapers off against NT. And I'm actually, my biggest goal right now is to try and find something that's better than a coin flip against NT. And coincidentally, I have to play NT to to manage to do that coin flip with the deck that I'm finding fun. So screw you, Spite Mage. Screw you, Phoenix.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with that. The only way that I can really find to beat NT consistently is to play a better version of NT. And then everyone's going to play that, and then they've upped the ante, and now how do you beat the better version of NT?
Well, the fun thing is if they start playing this version of the NT deck, there's a lot more solutions to this deck than the current one. So I would actually be happy if they started switching this one. Not saying that this one's better than the normal NT deck, but like if they switch to something that's a bit more niche, it'll be a lot easier to target.
Okay,
I think.
Fair enough. And what do you think your chances are today against Piquadore, who's won over 700 games in the constructed queue?
So I think Varnus Pact is amazing against the Arborist deck. I don't care if I get your Conjure. I don't care if I get your Arborist, because mine are better than yours. They're going to be coming in more often. They're going to be coming in bulk. I get to grow wide over you using your cards. I'm happy to have an Oros. I'm happy to have any of your cards in your deck. None of your cards are cards that I don't want. Also, I don't believe it was Arborist wins exclamation point or question mark. I believe it's Arborist wins asterisk, and the asterisk in the fine print says if I'm not playing against a good deck.
Wow. That is laying down the smack Forge style. All right. Let's bring in apparently the guy who's about to get whooped, according to Kit, Piquadore. So let's hear what he's got for us. Uh-oh. Oh, yeah. This sounds like winner's music. All right, Piquadore. Welcome to the show. And I don't know if you heard us questioning 2 Oros. What the what?
So what?
Yeah, only 2 of them, and got them yesterday. So I'm determined to make an Oros deck.
Okay, so this wasn't just a crazy choice where you were like, 2 Oros is where I draw the line.
No, I figured that the Arborist I could have had 3, but unfortunately with that, I just figured that he's not consistent if you can't keep your health up. So he's great if it works, but he doesn't always work. So, and the Rune Bark, as per the commentary, yeah, absolutely just forgot about him. So we'll see how that goes.
Okay. So what about, did you say you would have taken out Patriarch for Runebark?
I don't know if I would have necessarily taken out. Might keep a copy of Patriarch in there, just because every so often that can make a big difference. If somebody, epidemics you or shrinks you down a little bit, he can still boost you back up. But definitely would have put in a couple of Runebarks, probably look to 3 and then shift something around.
Okay.
And
I'm also curious.
The Roar versus Group Meal is, you were asked about that. And I think it's basically just to try to get that extra little bit of health and to allow for slightly better trades in terms of, being able to kill something off. But it's, Roar is probably a better way to go. But I just figured that to try to draw on the Crypt Conjure synergy.
Sure. I'm actually not saying Group Meal is a bad choice. I kind of like an idea of, I'm tossing around a deck that has 3 Roars, 3 Group Meals. Currently, it's ridiculously bad, but it seems like there's something to be said for that. And I guess a card we didn't ask you about is Dreadbolt. Why do you have 2 Dreadbolts in there?
It was just in part to figure that if you do see the tall and big, that you just level those and you just you get a little bit of health, you damage a little bit to the face, and you take out their creature. So it's kind of a if it works, great. If it doesn't, the way it goes.
Okay, fair enough.
Just a little bit of insurance.
And what do you think your chances are against the well-rested Kit?
Well, if he was a little more tired, I would say my odds are a bit better. But, with all the extra sleep he got, it doesn't necessarily weigh in my favor too much. But you know what? The Arborist is going to crush him.
All right. I hope it does. I want to see a 100 attack Arborist alongside a 200 attack Oros. That is my hopes and dreams for today.
Like, why stop there?
That is the dream.
Break the record. Highest I've seen is 350 attack Oros.
I can't remember how much his Randall's got on me. It was really big though. We had a
really
test
big
game, yeah, where he got a huge Oros. I do believe in typical fashion I conceded before he could whack me for 700 or whatever. But it was big. All right, guys. Good luck to both of you. And Jake, it's time for predictions. I know who you're going to pick, but go ahead.
Really?
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, you know, one of these players is playing NT.
Yes, I thought you might say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's not exactly the NT list that I prefer to play. But it's pretty close and it's based on the same shell. So I'm fairly happy picking the one and only Kit as a dominating win today, I think.
Yep. I think I too will pick Kit. I actually tested this exact matchup last night, and the NT deck in my testing crushed the Arborist deck into oblivion. But it was a different Arborist deck. It was running 3 Oros, so maybe 2 is the key. It was also not running Dreadbolts, though, so it didn't have quite the removal suite that this deck has. So maybe this deck and its removal will actually do better against NT. We'll have to see how that works. But I'm rooting for a good game, but I do have to give the nod to Kit in my predictions. But either way, I think it's time to get the Forge going. And apparently, Piquadore is already up 2-0, so Kit has an uphill climb. That's what happens when you're not here on time. You lose games.
Yeah, you actually take 1 forfeit per 15 minutes. You're late. So.
All right, here we go. 0-0.
All right, let's do this.
Should be exciting. I know I'm looking forward to this matchup. Especially since I really like this deck that Kit is playing. I've been crushing the queue with this deck. It's been on quite a bit of fun.
Yeah, you managed some 1-2s or 1-3s.
I don't actually consider 1-3 crushing the queue, but thanks for that thought.
Yeah.
No, I think I've gotten 4 4-0s with it in the last 2 days or so. I mean, pretty much all the queue time I've had.
Right.
It's been pretty successful. Wow. All right. Let's see. Who. Maybe there's a problem on who's going to challenge who. So let's have Kit as player 1. Go ahead and challenge Piquadore. What?
Reading the scribes.
No, I can't see it. It's way too small.
Should I read it?
Probably not. I'm not sure what's happening.
Okay, he's having a problem challenging Piquadore because the UI can't spell it apparently.
He can't seem to spell Piquadore.
His first comment was crushing the queue for Grimes is sitting on the queues.
Is what?
Crushing the queue for Grimes is sitting on the queues.
Okay. Interesting. He's not.
He's typing. I can't actually see through.
It's probably in his friends list though. Is the problem?
I think he was missing a U there actually.
What's that?
I think he was missing a U when he spelled it.
Okay. Well, why don't we have Piquadore challenge Kit then? Because never mind.
There we go. He's got him.
He found it. Never mind. He's found it.
He found me?
Yes.
He found me? There we go.
All is right with the world.
And we are off to the races.
Okay, let's get this thing started.
Bot Battle the Forge? I agree. We should have a Bot Battle series on the Forge.
I think you and I should design decks that we think the computer will handle well.
The computer can play well, yeah. No,
and then bot battle each other for about 7 hours, and we'll just do a best of however many games can be run in 7 hours.
Done.
And we can commentate on all of them.
All of them. Every one of them.
He's going to Oros. I think he's got to.
But here comes the Even Skull Knight.
Yeah. He's the Soul Crusher.
He just makes Oros sad.
So he passed on Zemus, which I like there. I don't like Zemus quite as much in this deck because I want to not have him in the dead pile, which maybe sounds crazy. I think he Dreadbolts here.
But at the same time, you kind of have to get him into the dead pile to get to level 2 Zemus.
Yeah, exactly. But you don't need him quite as much in this deck. Like, he's nice, but you don't have to have him. You certainly don't need 3 of them like you often want.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure.
So that's what I was talking about, the Dreadbolt maybe making a big difference. It's already made a pretty big difference in the game.
I mean, yeah, it's one of the only cards that really would have been good for him that turn.
Yep. What was the other play that he made? Okay, Shellgraved. All right, that's
Phoenix Shellgraved. Okay.
Yep, and I think he did that so that he could push some damage through.
Yeah, he wants to get him below 100.
All right, so here's another Oros, and it looks like probably Patriarch here, just to buff the Conjurer, or is he going to do something else?
Well, buffing the Conjurer doesn't actually do anything.
He could embrace the... Yeah, I think he probably embraces the Patriarch. And you're right, buffing the Conjurer would do nothing. I mean, it would allow him to trade, which he already is going to.
Yeah, so...
I need to expand... What I need to do is expand this view so I can actually see the numbers. There we go, that might help. That was interesting. Right. I might have hit the Patriarch. I'm not sure. What do you think there? It saves him a bit of damage, which is good.
I would do the trade, I think.
You would what?
I would do it the way he did it. I would do the trade.
I think you have to go Spite Mage here. Another question is...
Get that Oros off the board.
Yeah, I think...
Varnish Pact, I think, right? You level the Varnish Pact? He wants to play a level 3 Varnish Pact.
I might have done that after combat to have more shots at more cards I wanted. But certainly...
Is Spite Mage a card you want back as an empty creature?
I think so. I mean,
rather than Oros? I like Oros.
Oros is the card I definitely want. But Conjurer was in the dead pile also... along with your Death Weaver. And maybe those are the 3 cards you want. Man, he's already at 111 health. Kit's going to have to get him under somehow. So the question is, do you empty lane cards? If it was not 1.4 here, I would empty lane the Ebon Skull, I think, just to push damage. But with
but in this case, you block.
Yeah, but with being 1.4, I think that was the right play. He's got to get some damage through because that Arborist 2, he's a scary mofo.
He's a scary guy. That's okay. He's actually well set up here to do 7 next turn. So
yeah, definitely. And then probably Zemus in 2 would be my guess. Okay. Or Zemus there.
Well, I mean, he offers it as a block.
And then he moves out of the way and...
You never know. Maybe your opponent won't block, right?
Offset the block.
Or won't move around him.
Okay, so he is choosing... He could embrace here. I mean, they essentially do the same thing. It's what card do you want to level.
No, I think he'll go for the Glutton for sure.
Yeah, I think so too, unless you don't want to have more cards in the dead pile. Because the dead pile.
Well, the thing is, the Glutton is actually going to do damage to Piquadore.
Yes.
So.
And his level 2 and 3 become pretty serious threats, whereas Embrace doesn't level all that well.
His top hat gets really big and strong.
Yeah. Would you go Cersei in 3 and then maybe Patriarch 5 buffing the Conjurer so that it's living for a turn?
Well, it trades then. It's not terrible.
You can also consider Group Meal. What would that do?
Well, yeah, I was going to say, would you consider Group Meal here? I don't think it actually accomplishes much.
It does do damage and gains him health. And then...
That's about it, though.
It actually allows him to live in the trade with the Patriarch Phoenix.
Okay, you're right. Okay, I hadn't considered it in that combination because you were talking about Cersei plus something else. But like that, it's okay.
Yep, I think that works quite well for him.
Now, though, Kid is finally going to put him below 100.
I would empty lane both of those suckers.
Both of them, yeah, absolutely. You don't care about taking
And
6.
this could be where the whole game changes. If Piquadore can't come up with something here, playing the cards he's playing versus the cards that Kid is going to be playing is where he's going to fall behind really, really fast.
Yep, those
this is one of the reasons
Spite Mages for 16 damage. Like, how do you stay above 100 when your opponent can do that?
Yeah, I mean that's why Spite Mages are so amazing. He's like, I removed all your threats, player level 1. Oh, player level 2? Now I'm just gonna hit you in the face for a whole pile of damage.
Well, and also, even if he was over 100, it just trades for the Arborist.
Yep, exactly.
All right, so there's definitely a Varnus Pact Deathweaver
Yeah.
coming down here, right?
Yeah. I think you,
Obviously, in the order that I didn't say them in.
yes. I think I would block Patriarch here, and then empty lane the other one. He's empty lane.
I wouldn't block. I'd take the damage.
Yeah, and I think that's totally fine as well.
Yeah.
He's definitely going to stay under 100 with this approach. I think he would have definitely stayed under 100 anyway, though.
Yeah,
but that's fine.
You see the card in Kit's hand.
I saw that. I have
Yeah.
a feeling it's going to be a game-winning card. I just have this
it's
feeling,
pretty good.
sense. Got a sense
It's
about
pretty
it.
solid.
Unless Kit plays it in front of the Patriarch and hits battle, I think.
I actually kind of like the Epidemic here. Yeah, I agree with the Epidemic.
Sure.
So it wouldn't matter where he puts Phoenix.
Right, and he's going to have a
I mean,
huge
that keeps
Phoenix.
the Deathweaver, and the Phoenix is actually buffed from the
He actually-
Deathweaver. I mean,
He has a buffed
you know.
2.4 Phoenix. And so this is where 2.4 Phoenix, you just win. Like, when that happens, there is just nothing you can do to win this one.
Well, especially in a situation like this where he already had a fairly commanding board presence.
Exactly.
You know, the Phoenix is just an absolute nail in the coffin. There's no chance for a Kit to draw bad and Piquadore to hit strong hands, come back at that point, because the Phoenix is just going to kill him.
Yep, and he did draw not that great. But the hilarious thing is, he drew, quote, bad, and a level 1 Phoenix is still really good on player level 3. That's
Absolutely.
how good Phoenix
Completely
level 1 is.
relevant card.
Alright. So it looks
there's lethal in hand, even if the board all died.
Yeah, Piquadore had a really great start, and then the power of this deck shined through in player level 2.
I mean, he played a bunch of the cards he wants to get leveled in player level 1.
Yep.
Strong cards on the board. Even Skull Knight shut down Oros at every turn.
Mm-hmm.
Spite Mage, first Spite Mage came back, killed creatures. Then he dropped him below 100. Then the two Spite Mages, after doing damage, actually traded for an Arborist 2 and an Oros 2.
Okay, so if you would like to qualify for a giveaway, first, make sure you're a follower of the stream. Second, seduce Nightbot for a few minutes, because he or she, actually, we're unsure of the gender of Nightbot, is going to be in charge of choosing the person that will win the giveaway. So I'm going to log into Nightbot right now and wake him up, or wake her up. I actually think Nightbot
you
might
see
be
this?
a woman.
I believe Kid is putting a code on screen
Wow.
in Notepad.
Oh my.
So for anybody who has the eyes to read that,
And it's gone
yeah.
too, really fast. Oh boy. Good luck to everyone. I hope someone got that
that
code.
is probably a draft code.
Oh, he just threw the code to me as well. So,
Okay, sure.
I guess since Kit put this in, I'm gonna put it in the stream, and someone
Okay.
can go ahead and redeem this one. This
And
is
it's
not
a
the code
race.
we're giving away. This is a different
Yeah.
code. That's just a random code. I don't like doing giveaways like that, but since Kit did that, we're gonna honor that.
I mean, we certainly don't mind giving away extra draft codes.
Oh yeah, no, I'll give away 1,000 codes. That's fine. That ain't a problem. All right, so when we get started in this game, for about a minute in, I'll do the giveaway.
Sure.
Give everyone
Sounds
a
good.
minute.
Say good
All
luck,
right.
everybody, on that key. Let us know who managed to get it first.
And what it was.
What's in chat, and what it was.
All right, so Kit has an interesting dilemma here. He has 2 Deathweavers and a Phoenix. Phoenix is amazing for pushing through that damage he needs early, but Deathweaver is the crux of the deck. I think I play Phoenix here
Phoenix is the
just because of the
underleveled
matchup.
No, I definitely go Deathweaver personally. Phoenix is a relevant card in play level 2 as a level 1 spell. Deathweaver isn't terrible, but
Yep.
it is a card that, when leveled, really pumps up your entire board and just go crazy.
Yeah, so which one would you play here?
Deathweaver, lane
See,
5.
I would play Phoenix here because I want to push the damage through in this matchup. In every
Yeah,
other
but you're
matchup,
a Phoenix noob.
I would play Deathweaver. What's that?
That's it. Yeah, but you're a Phoenix noob.
Yeah, but you get the 7 damage almost regardless of what he does. Unless he pulls his Dreadbolt, you just move it out of the way, do the 7 damage, and now you're on your way. Otherwise, I agree.
Yeah, but
I would play
I mean,
Death Weaver.
I know. I'm just putting less emphasis on needing to get him below 100 immediately than you are, so it's not
Gotcha.
it's not that critical.
I think here I would empty lane actually the Spite Mage. He's
Sure.
under 100, and then
I'll agree with
Varnus
that.
Pact.
Cool.
Which sounds
Has
crazy.
anything died? Has anything died?
No, nothing has died.
What does Varnus Pact do if nothing's died?
That's a good
I haven't
point.
played
That is a good
situation
point. So
yet.
I wouldn't Varnus
I think
Pact
he has
then.
to trade. He has to trade so that he can Varnus Pact
So that he
after
can Varnus
combat.
Pact. That's interesting. I might have not done that. I think I still would have empty laned, and then maybe I would have empty laned both the Glutton and the Spite Mage there.
Yeah, that's kind of where I thought you were going right away. But
Yep.
I'm actually okay with this line too. 7/4 Zemus, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I
Just
think
send an anti-light
either.
creature.
I think either line is fine. It's just when I play against Arborist, if I can get him under 100 early, I do it in case things go wrong and he's able to go like Arborist, 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 and get over 100. Then it becomes kind of difficult.
Yeah, I know. It's just, your opponent's only playing 2 Arborists in this case.
Yep.
And when it comes down to it, it's not that scary anymore because you do have Spite Mages on level.
Sure. Interesting. Yeah, I think I would go
Definitely Death Weaver.
And I think I play Zemus here over other choices.
Oh, he goes for the Epidemic.
The Epidemic I think is reasonable because you're getting the 7 damage through. So I
Yeah, he
don't.
wants to do the 7 damage. Now that the Arborist is on board, it's a little bit more relevant to keep him below
Right.
100.
Yep, and I think that's a totally fine play.
Yeah.
Is he gonna double?
Okay, this hand the kid has now, I know for a fact which card Tiny Grimes would play this turn.
You do, huh?
Yeah, his name is Eben Skull Knight. I have watched you play an Eben Skull Knight in 1.4, not blocking something.
I have done that now, I think twice. Both times it was when I was multitasking. One time I was playing a game. My wife called and she was having me order a cake, and so I'm like ordering a cake on the phone. And I'm like, oh, Eben Skull Knight will be great here. And then he went away, and I was like, okay,
Die.
that was a good lesson. Don't play while ordering cakes on the phone. That doesn't work well. So yes, thank you, Jake. Thank you for
No
that.
problem, man.
All
It was
right.
just pretty hilarious when you did it because you did it completely seriously.
Yeah, no,
Eben Skull Knight.
I know that
Yeah.
that time it was a similar situation.
That was the best.
I can't remember what I was doing. I was like getting a code or doing something.
I think it was a giveaway, yeah.
Yep, and that was all of a sudden. It was
Speaking
like,
of giveaways, Nightbot should roll off this code.
I'm about to.
Okay, great.
We were enjoying mocking me far too much.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
one of
so
my favorite
Death Weaver
activities.
Varnus Pact, I think is going to give Kit a pretty big lead unless he hits
It's just
really
so
badly.
much board. Oh, you got the Death Weaver, and then it
Oh,
buffed
my.
itself.
Yeah,
Just-
this is going to be really, really, really tough for him.
Honestly, I'm not entirely sure why that interaction works that way. I mean, I understand the mechanics of it and how they work in Soulforge. I don't
Mhm.
really agree that Death Weaver should buff itself when you bring it back,
Yep. All right, looks like PTK Tempo has won the giveaway. Because if there's one thing we know about PTK, he needs giveaways.
He totally needs free cards, man.
He needs a draft code. So we'll see if he wants it. If he wants to decline it, he's welcome to. And he's also
You
welcome
didn't
to
even
take it.
seduce Nightbot, he says. Yeah, I mean, if you want a PTK, that's totally fine. It's yours, man.
Yep.
Congratulations.
All right, so Kit continues to be putting dudes on the board that are pretty big, putting pressure down. And so you look at Piquadore's hand, I don't really know what you do here. I mean, Epidemic is certainly reasonable, but then what's the follow-up? Is it Oros in 1? Is it... I mean, Cersei doesn't do anything.
His problem is he really, cannot handle
Yeah,
the Death Weaver again this turn.
Not being able to handle that Death Weaver is really scary. I mean, he's lucky here because Kit doesn't have a pact in his hand, but he does have Graves. And
He has Graves. You see, he set up that block now in lane
yeah,
1.
I think he's
That
going to
grave is
double
coming
Grave.
down. Double grave it.
Yep.
Oh, Lord.
I mean, I know how Kit likes to play this deck, and that's That is definitely right up Kit's alley. It's a level 2 Graves.
Oh my god.
2 giant
Oh my god.
gluttons. Yep.
I mean, I personally, I like Shallow Grave a lot. You know that. I spent a long time convincing you to play it, if you recall.
You spent a long time convincing me to play what?
Shallow Grave.
I don't think I would agree with that.
I think you should.
Okay.
My
memory works like this.
Back in.
I have instant correct evaluations of every card.
I have every card.
That's how my memory works. All right.
Anyways,
so
I'm
that's
just
predicted.
saying,
Varus
that
Pact.
last turn was broken.
Yep. So Varus Pact. Very predictable play. And now he gets to go.
Goodness. Oh my goodness.
Okay, so we're going to see the only downside of Varus Pact here. He's going to have to overwrite one of his guys because it's not up to 2 lanes. You have to do 2 lanes. So he's going to have to go overwrite with, probably Deathweaver in 5, battle, overwrite at least one guy with a Varus Pact.
Okay, this is fine because he can do combat first here.
Yep.
Yeah.
But he
So
is
now-
going to
now
have to
he's totally
overwrite
fine.
probably the Zemus in 1.
Yeah, I would say Zemus in 1. And then he's going to have 2 Deathweavers down. Those Varus Pact guys are going to have +8/+8.
I'm going to go on a limb here. I think Kit wins this game.
Wow.
Look, he's got a level 3 Arborist, though.
Okay, get your mouse off that Spike Mage, kid. Come on.
He's looking at, though, 22, 29, +4. He'd have him at 16.
I know, it was close. It was close.
But, yeah, no.
Back over the Zemus. There we go.
Yep, I think it's clearly the right play.
Oh my goodness.
And he got a Spite Mage anyway.
It's a bigger one.
Oh, my goodness. Poor Piquadore. He's like, I got my Arborist 3. That's cool. That's pretty neat. Oh, boy.
He's big and stuff.
Oh, yeah, you got the group meal, too. That's cool.
Fortunately, now he's very dead.
The Glutton did a bunch of damage.
Yep. Bonus.
Yep.
And they're all right. We're up 2-0.
All right, Kid is off to the races now.
I mean, yeah, this is a lot of how I expected this match to go. I really find NT very favored against Oros.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, and we have another code going into the notepad. Heck, we should do the Forge with this many codes every week.
Oh, yeah, I agree. All right, so I'm just going to put it in stream. This is from...
He says every time he wins, viewers get codes.
All right, so this is courtesy of Kit. The mad scramble begins. Go get it, guys. Bad news, I just got it. I just redeemed it. It was 100,000 gold.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
Pretty sweet. Pretty sweet. And I spent it all on alternate art spring dryads. Yep. I have the most
5,000
of anyone.
Spring dryads.
I am the man. Because that's how I measure manliness. How many alt art spring dryads you have.
Well, be right back.
Jake has to liquidate his funds so he can pass me in our race to have the most alternate art spring dryads. I'm up to, I think, 13 Gox, by the way. So you got to get your head in the game,
I haven't
son.
opened Goxes.
I know, you have to actually play tournament queues to get Gox.
I've been playing my free-to-play league account recently is what I've been doing.
In tournament queues, violating all the rules?
No, in random queue to get the silver bonus.
That's cool. Yeah, I've been having fun with that league. If you haven't been playing in the free-to-play league, you're missing out. Next time, make sure you sign up. It's crazy though. Like you won't get anything good, and your opponent will be like, "I've got all the good cards," and you just kind of stare at the screen and go, "How? How did you open all those cards, sir?" But it's fun.
That's interesting. I have a different experience with it.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. I did get a Cersei
I'm playing NT stacked with legendaries. What are you playing?
I am playing garbage.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. But it's fun.
Good stuff.
All right, so he's got 2 online arborists. This is like
okay, this is
best
the start.
case. Best
This is
case
as good as
scenario.
it gets for him.
Yep. And he can't. Kit can't push through much damage here.
No, he
So,
can't drop him below 100 here.
What do
He
you
can
do?
set up the board fairly well, though.
The problem is, Ebon Skull just dies to Arborist. I'd be tempted to empty lane Ebon Skull, knowing that he doesn't have another Arborist in his deck. So he's the only
'Cause
card
he's
that
only
could
got two.
kill him will be Dreadbolt. And
He
then
hasn't played a Dreadbolt yet, though.
do you block the other one of the Arborists with, say, a Deathweaver, or do you empty lane the Deathweaver as well and take a lot of damage?
No. I would block it once, because then when you drop him below 100, the Arborist will die.
Yep.
You want to get the 5 damage in there.
I think that is a very wise play, and it also makes it so you don't take as much damage.
He also avoids taking 16 damage. Yeah.
So I think you go
Well,
Deathweaver 1. You go Ebon Skull in wherever. And I do like very much that play of
Everywhere.
moving the Phoenix over in case things get bad.
But now it has the option of moving to 5 next turn,
Yep.
if for some reason it's still alive.
You can trade him off.
Yeah.
All right.
Alright, so we look at Piquadore's hand. You know, he has some options here. I like the Conjure.
Mm-hmm.
Pulls off the block, the Epidemic, take off the Phoenix, shrink the
Interesting.
Knight so it doesn't kill the Conjure in one turn, gains some more life. You know, he just needs to keep his advantage rolling, and those Arborists hit so hard. If he can snowball it into player level 2, where he's still over 100, and can land an Arborist 2, he can just end the game very fast.
Yeah, he may indeed be able to do that. But that Epidemic followed by Varnus Pack is going to be pretty good.
Well, especially because he hit the Deathweaver, it buffed itself, and
Yeah.
it bloody well
That was
lived
kind
to
of
the
insane.
Arborist.
Um,
I gotta say, that's a little bit fortunate.
yeah, and the problem for Picador is he can't just empty lane those Oros. He has to deal with Kit's guys because he can't get below 100. I think that's the right play there. Now Kit
Yeah, I
has
like
to
it.
draw something to be able to handle the Oros.
Which, I mean, of course he has. He
Yeah,
can just Spite
which
Mage
he
it.
has Spite Mage. So the question here, though, is do you double Spite Mage to get him
I
to
double Spite
100?
Mage. I double Spite Mage.
Yeah, I think I do too. I love Varnus Pact in this deck, and normally I would Varnus Pact, but in this matchup, we saw how powerful the double level 2 Spite Mage was in empty lanes, and this really sets him up to be able to do that again. Kid
Oh,
does
he could
love
double
Shallow
Shallow-
Grave, though. Yeah, Shallow
It
Grave.
accomplishes the same thing, but do you really want the Shallow Grave leveled over the Spite Mage? I don't think so.
Right,
Shallow
Shallow
Grave
Grave-
works under leveled in player level 2.
Yep, it would have been my third choice there, whereas for Kit, his natural inclination is to make Shallow Grave his
Always
first
Shallow
choice.
Grave.
Because he loves that combo. It's a very powerful combo.
I'm shocked. You know, I saw those cards and I was like, man, you know who's going to play these cards? I know who's going to play these
Yep.
cards.
These are Kit cards for sure.
Yeah.
Alright, so he's going to empty lane. Which is interesting. Oh, that works out really
That's
well.
not a bad card to hit, yeah.
Yep. I thought he might Epidemic there, but I think that's probably better.
I like this better. Epidemic doesn't actually accomplish that much.
Yeah. I mean, it takes less damage, but that's not really what he's worried about right now.
It's not really his goal, yeah.
Now an Epidemic will be, well, not as reasonable.
Sorry, I thought they were playing.
There's some sound happening behind me just now. Hope it's not too loud through the mic.
It just sounded like craziness. I didn't know exactly what the craziness was. Alright, so he's got 2 online Arborists. He's got to find a way
Well, he's got a Varnus Pact here.
to punch through. Do you empty lane them both? Ooh, wow.
No. I agree with what he did, I think. He's down to 48. You don't want to take.
Yeah,
60.
okay. Yep, he is down to 48. That
If
was
he had more life than 48, then absolutely you could empty lane. But
Yep.
in this case,
I agree.
you know, you're
I
playing
actually
with
was
very
not
few life
looking at his
points.
life total. I assumed with how
Yeah.
early the game was, he actually had life.
Right.
I kind of forgot that
No.
these Arborists have been chewing him up and spitting him out.
They've been doing a good job this game.
You know what might be good in this deck? A third Arborist.
Whoa.
Looks like Piquadore is in very good shape, though. Especially with this draw.
Oh yeah, he's off to a really good. He's doing very well.
How does he handle this Arborist? I mean, that's the real issue. He's going to take 22 next turn. if he just blocks Arborist and doesn't do anything else. Okay, so he is going to double block him to kill him, which is going to let Piquadore play a spell to make sure that he's well over 100 if he wants to. And he could just roar here.
This is looking grim for Kit here.
Yeah, I think he probably just roars. The Arborist lives. And Kit is toasted here.
And that is going to be...
You know what the real problem of that is? It means Kit's probably not going to give a code away because he lost.
Oh, that's true.
Did we give the second code away yet? I don't think we did.
Nope.
All right.
Nightbot owes the crowd a code.
Let's go ahead
Get on it, Nightbot.
Let's go ahead, Nightbot. Who are you going to pick? Pick your favorite person.
Everybody.
The winner is
Extreme Gopher.
An Extreme Gopher, his avatar is a koala. I'm really confused. I mean,
what?
Shouldn't it be a gopher, like riding a skateboard?
That doesn't make any sense.
Right. I mean, what's going on, man? Get your animals. Maybe he doesn't know that that's a koala bear.
That's not a gopher?
He thinks it's a gopher.
Wow. Maybe that's what happens to gophers when they get extreme.
Oh, that may be. An extreme gopher is actually a really chill koala bear.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what? I hadn't thought about that. That's my bad, gopher. I had a misunderstanding.
We're all on the same page now. Congratulations to Gopher.
Gopher says, I love all animals. Cool.
Do you love them all equally? Equally. All right. Well, you shut me right up.
All right. There we go. Equal love of all the animals. All right. So Kit comes out strong with a Phoenix. Not a lot of choices there. Either that.
He got beat by those Arborists last game. He's like, you know what? That's not happening again.
Yep, exactly. We're not going to get over 100. And didn't we have a situation last game where he could have opened with a Phoenix, probably just moved him out of the way and hit him for 7, and that didn't happen?
Possibly.
That could have changed the whole game.
Possibly,
exactly. It might not have. I don't remember.
So what's the second card here? Because if he's playing Eben Skull Knight, then I would block with the Eben Skull over the Death Weaver.
It's interesting. I would probably block neither. I think
that's also a good choice. But if he's going to block, I would have done it the other way around.
Yeah, and then you're going to hit the Varna's Pact, or you're going to hope to, and you're going to push through damage. I would have empty laned them both. So here he Conjurers, and then he's probably going to Epidemic. Oh, is Epidemic going to be the right play?
Gopher is saying that the code you just sent him says that it is used. That does, and he just put it in chat, so good luck in case it wasn't used. It's now used.
Interesting.
Sometimes you just have to input it a couple times before it works.
Yeah, now it's not going to work for sure.
Now I promise it will not work. It'll work for somebody if it was going to work, but...
Yeah, okay. I don't know what to say about that because I haven't given away that code yet, and I just got it from Stoneblade directly.
No, we got those codes literally this afternoon from Stoneblade.
So, we'll see. I don't know.
All right, so he goes to the double Varna's Pact here.
Jake is Canadian, so he says crazy things. So you gotta give him leeway there. We're talking about your the way you pronounce things.
Oh, because I say Eben instead of Ebon.
Eben.
Or whatever. Eben.
Yeah. That's how
we say Eben Skull.
Yeah.
We do say Ebony, but when you remove the the vowel from that, it becomes Eben Skull.
Gotcha.
Yes,
so
it does.
I think here, it's a kind of a tough spot. I would love to move him over and empty lane him, but then you're not killing Oros. So I think probably I would have Spite Maged the Oros because he's the primary threat. But this
I like doing the 4 now.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's good because it gets him under 100. It just made me nervous in case he pulls that Dreadbolt.
Oh, he's already played one Dreadbolt, though. You got to remember.
Yeah, he did find the Embrace, though, so he's going to be able to go Conjurer.
He's gonna break through for some damage, yeah.
Yep. He's going to be right back over 100. Well, I guess he's not because the Phoenix will hit him. So maybe that was actually the right way to do it. Question is, where do you put Conjurer? Do you kill the Spite Mage, or do you trade off over 2 turns with the Phoenix?
I think trade for the Phoenix, like he's done.
Yep, I think so too.
Yeah, he's still gonna get use out of the Conjurer.
So here's a question though: do you just hit the Spite Mage here because you're gonna go back over 100? Yeah, you won't get the breakthrough, but you will be over 100 now, and you'll trade off the board essentially.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he decided to go for it. I'm not sure I agree.
Yeah, the problem is he just moves over.
I don't place that much emphasis on Arborist when I play the deck. You know, yes, if you're winning, you can stay over 100, then Arborist is amazing. If you're not, then I like to refocus on a different plan and not worry about keeping myself over 100.
The problem is he doesn't have another plan. Like,
Yeah, he's a little bit low on the back of the plan. There's no, there's no rune bark to grow.
Right.
He does have the 2 Cersei, but he hasn't been leveling them, so it's not going to work as a win condition.
Yeah, I think his plan is pretty much stay over 100 or maybe get Oros going wild and crazy or Conjurers doing cool stuff. But I think he's more all in on the 100 plan than the way you or I would play this deck.
Yeah, sure. Superliminal is right. Give Piquadore a win on the scoreboard, sir.
Yes, that's a good idea. We only give wins to Kit on this channel.
Yeah, only Kit is allowed to win.
There we go. I do have some information on campaign. It's going to be awesome. That's actually not confirmed information. That's just a theory of mine.
Yep.
Yeah, so Kit has a tough choice here. Do you do damage with a Spite Mage because it's damage, or do you put a level 3 Phoenix in the deck? I don't think you need the level 3 Phoenix in the deck. I think he just wins by putting a whole bunch of damage on him.
Yeah, I mean, there's 2 ways to look at it. Yes, he has a big board right now, and you could get away with playing the Phoenix. But at the same time, he has a big board right now, and if he just pushes that, he can just win the game.
Yeah.
Rather than relying on drawing that Phoenix in play level 3.
Right. And especially since he's going to be able to Dreadbolt. Like, if he had not made that play, that would be a giant Arborist plus the Dreadbolt. Actually, it is a giant Arborist, but
it is, but it's going to shrink. It's going to shrink. Yeah.
So I think that was definitely the right play by Kit. And he gets the Varna's Pact anyway, which is going to be something insane. We can be assured.
It's going to be huge. Yeah. Oh man. Oh man.
And I think here
some people were just born to play cards like Lyria and Varna's Pact. You know that?
Yeah. I mean, I'd be tempted.
You and I, not the target audience of these cards.
I'm loving this deck, though. I got to say, this deck is really strong.
Oh, I do too, but I don't Varna's Pact and Lyria the way the Kit does.
Yes, I mean, I remember Kit really liked Lyria before.
Yeah.
And it was just one of those cards that we had a fundamental disagreement on, that I could not find a way to love Lyria, and Kit found ways to. I mean, Kit wouldn't just throw Lyria in random decks and be like, look, Lyria's great. But he would find decks in which Lyria could shine, in which I would say, I won't play Lyria.
Yeah,
just
that's
sort of a fundamental difference. So he's going to be under 100 regardless.
If this was Tiny Grimes, he would have slammed that Even Skull Knight in front of that
both
Oros
of them
right there in lane 4. Boom.
You put
Look,
them
guys,
both
I'm
down,
blocking.
Jake. When you got a lead like this, you got to push the lead. Actually, I think what I would do is consider playing the Even Skull 2 and Grave It. Comes back huge. I think that might be the play.
Does that work?
Yeah,
or
it does.
Die again. It works. Okay.
Yep.
Well, heck, let's do that then.
Yeah, I think that's the play. I mean, 4 damage to the face. He's already doing 26. I don't think another 4 is going to be a make it or break it. I think what he's doing here is checking how many Spite Mages do I have leveled for the Arborists that are coming.
I like the sexy play.
Yep, I do too. And if
And
he gets
there it
lucky,
is.
he's got a 1 in 3 shot. And
Boom.
he hit it.
It blocks.
Oh, that was
Oh,
a
man.
total nail in the coffin.
Oh,
The coffin was already closed. Now it went into the river.
yeah. That's right. They pushed it off the pier.
Yep, it's gone. Actually, what they did is they burned it. They were like, never mind, we're going to cremate this guy. It's over.
Coffin and all.
Yep. The
We
whole
nailed it shut. Now we're just going to burn the whole damn thing.
the whole kit and caboodle, as they say. In fact, he's got 26, 45. Does he have a... Oh, he doesn't have a Spite Mage to win.
No lethal here.
Oh, no, he does. Maybe.
Oh,
Is he going to
maybe.
get it? Oh, he did. The glutton
Finds
win.
the damage.
That is called winning with style. Well done, Kit. Well done.
Yeah, I've killed my own Phoenix to win a lot of times, but I can't say that I have very embraced my own level 1 glutton to win.
I gotta say,
Ever.
that was pretty darn cool. What I'm really impressed is that rather than copying and pasting these codes, Kit seems to have them all memorized, and he just types them out.
Yeah.
So
He actually just generates them from his mind.
Kit
He's
is
actually the
Soulforged.
source of all the codes.
Yeah, Kit is
He just makes
Soulforged.
them up, and by the fact that he made it up, it becomes a real code and
Yeah.
is accepted by the
It's
website.
really neat. I mean, I'm impressed. But let's go ahead and play his music and bring him back into the fold here.
And good luck, everybody, nabbing that code off the website. There's 172 of you, and only one can redeem that code.
Come on and slam, and welcome to the jam. Come on and slam, you wanna
I like this song.
I think for me, this might go into worst song someone's chosen, but I'm not really here to evaluate songs. What I'm here to do is bring Kit back. Kit, welcome back. That was kind of a demolishing.
It was. I'm sorry, Piquadore. I had fun. I actually enjoyed getting smashed by the giant arborist. I'm like scrambling. What can I do? That was enjoyable. And apparently I couldn't do anything. So.
Yeah.
But the rest of the time I enjoyed smashing you, friend.
Yeah, that was definitely a one-sided affair, but it was a fun one. I enjoyed watching it. It's how I thought the game was going to work out. Did you have any cards you would consider the all-stars today? I mean, okay, let me backtrack. Was your favorite play going Ebon Skull double Shallow Grave on it?
Yes, it was. That was definitely my favorite play.
Yeah, I thought it was.
I was hoping I could get some level 3 Shallow Grave shenanigans, but I mean, this matchup really comes down to making sure you push damage at every opportunity, and I was struggling with it because it wasn't what I wanted to do, and a lot of times it was leveling cards I didn't want to level, but there were times I was making like super suboptimal plays just to get them below 100 because I didn't want the free, oh, I'm throwing down this arborist in front of your dude, it's now blocking your dude, and it's also huge. But instead I could push damage through. Now he can't block with the arborist. He has to play Crypt Conjure or something like that.
Yep, I thought you did a really good job of adjusting because I know how you like to play the deck, and there were a couple of times where I was like, no Kit, don't Shallow Grave there. You want to push the damage, and you're like mousing over the Shallow Grave, and you're like, but my muscle memory says I should Shallow Grave here because I love that card. So you're able to resist. I was impressed.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
yeah.
most of the time when I was mousing over stuff, I was just trying to show what I was aware of as options. Specifically, when I went into that combat log, for instance, I was actually looking to see if he'd already played Dreadbolt that player level, and he did, and that's why I was like highlighting that. The other thing, I just want to point out that I actually had to change the name of this deck. See, originally it was just Pet Cemetery, but now it's Pet Cemetery, and in parentheses it says with Kit in the name. And this is as a result of AJE8 posting on Facebook that there can't be so many Kit named decks, so I had to make sure that my deck included the name Kit.
I saw that, and another guy defended him. He was like, you know what, the guy can call whatever the hell he wants. We'll see after Kit. Yep.
All right. Well, congratulations, sir.
Thank you.
I'm happy to see the deck that I'd say we both worked on this. I mean, this is definitely your pet package, but I've been enjoying this deck a lot as well. So I'm happy to see it winning.
Well, it's definitely so. First off, I brew a lot of my own decks. This is a deck that I completely worked on with Tiny Grimes. This isn't just a kit deck, but we've been working on this deck for like 3 weeks. It wasn't just like, hey, last night let's sit down and build a deck together. We've been talking about this for a couple weeks, and you know, credit where it's due. It's something we worked on together.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun actually trying to figure out what's the best package to put Varna's Pact Engrave in, and I think it's meta depends. Going to depend on what becomes popular, what the best shell is for it to go in. But I think today and other days have proven that this shell is a shell to be reckoned with.
Well, thanks for having me on, guys. I appreciate it.
All right,
Yeah,
thank you
thanks
for
for
coming
joining us,
by,
man.
and congratulations. And the dump truck will be coming to your house shortly with a pile of gold in it.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, thanks again for stopping by for an episode of The Forge, and we'll see you next week, where 2 will enter, 1 will leave as champion, and 1 will leave beaten, battered, and bruised.